23% dodge in this chapter. This appears to be better. Okay. Long last?
One step at a time,
Uwe.
amidst the madness.
Uwe has had his tongue cut off, just like the rest of the lesser servants of House Orselio. For some reason, the archenemy's twisted influence has found its way into the station. Awaken the Cogitator's spirit. The Cogitator's vid screen is covered in cracks and stained with dried blood. The buttons, switches, and levers were ripped out of the control panel with exceptional cruelty and scattered around the sacred mechanism that now sparks and hisses in agony, still refusing to perish. Awaken the Cogitator. You turn a few of the remaining dials and pull the activation lever. The cracked vid screen of the sacred engine flickers. The Cogitator's insides emit creaks and groans, and the lumens oscillate at random. It takes a while, but eventually the machine spirits do grant you access to the Cogitator's systems. Examine the log. The archive data stored on the Cogitator's local data crypt is partially corrupted, but you still manage to access residual logs for examination. Vox report 12A H890. This is Officer A282. Do you copy? Several generators overheated on the lower levels. Chambers A to D are unpowered. The tech priest crew sent to investigate the problem is not responding. Requesting back. Interrupted by shouting, and the recording abruptly ends. Officer H123 speaking. 200 servants have perished due to explosive decompression of the living quarters. We've located traces of mechanical interference. The preliminary cause is officer sabotage. Crews 5, 6, and 9 are cut off from the main compartment. We have enough oxygen for 20 minutes. May the Emperor save our souls. Senior station officers, this is the captain speaking. We attempted to contact the Winterscale Scion for help, but something is jamming the signal. We never received a reply and cannot be sure it was even sent in the first place. Our rescue team is not coming. We're on our own, so remain vigilant. Anyone could be a traitor. You hear me? Anyone. If you're in doubt, shoot to kill. Recent entries. The servants close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains processed. The negotiations with the Winterscales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the lab at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Data expunged. Docking log. Identity confirmed. Reagent Aronto Orselio. Data visit classified. Reason for visit classified. Data departure classified. Examine security and life support logs. The yellow lights above the control panel flicker to life, and a singular repeating message streams down the vid screen. Warning! Damage in technical compartments A12, B3, D8, and H24 detected. Warning! Living quarters L10, L16, L28 depressurized. Warning! Unable to access the station's docking system. Warning! Energy regulation system unknown error. The station will transfer over to emergency power. Immediate evacuation of the facility is advised. Warning! View encrypted data. Something buzzes in the Cogitator's metallic gut. Several red lumens light up above the vid screen. Required access level, security captain or above. Current access level, senior security officer. Tech use, 78%. Break through the Machine Guardian's defenses. Failed. The vid screen flashes furiously, and the control panel starts spitting out sparks that bite at your fingers. After a few minutes of desperate confrontation, the Cogitator falls silent once and for all, barring you access to classified data. Step away. Okay. Request data on the station's navigators. After a brief pause, the data appears on screen. Felic Orselio, main hall, alive. Theobald Orselio, upper chambers, alive. Calomira Orselio, upper chambers, deceased. Alexius Orselio, lower levels, deceased. Rasmus Estevan Orselio, unknown, deceased. The child. Location, upper chambers, biometric parameters, rapid heartbeat, elevated body temp, stress level exceeds permissible limit. Status, unknown error. Attention, calming procedures advised. Attention, upper chambers inaccessible. Error, control rod not present. If the rod has been misplaced, immediately contact a station keeper or Navis Laboratum custodian. Main elevator controls. A few manipulations with the switches make you realize the elevator to the upper chambers is blocked. Activate it. Confirmed. Return to commands. Return to main chamber controls. The cogs within the sacred mechanism slowly start turning with heavy grinding and clacking. The tired machine spirit grants you access to station control, or at least its parts that still obey. Open all doors. The cogitator's vid screen goes dark as if the machine spirit has fled their mechanical casket, but your assumption is incorrect as it fills with static a few moments later. You can barely make out an inscription amidst the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Warning, data corrupted, processing, error, 0100110101100. Did you really think I was going to read that whole thing? Is required. Wait, it just wants me to repeat back what it just said? None of these match what it spat out. Let's try the longest one. You push a few buttons in the control panel, but the system rebels. It keeps resetting your commands. According to the data, the compartment you're trying to open is depressurized. The cogitator takes a few moments to gather data from the station's active systems and produces the following message. The protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. That's already open. That's already open. That's already open. Uh-oh, what did that button do? Okay. Okay. Step away. Clear, athletics 95%. Guard corps.
Will be no peace
Plus 5 to
in my
persuasion.
wake.
And a sword. Let's see. Appears to be an upgrade. You attempted random input and it worked. Yay! Plus 5 willpower, bonus to lore warp. Too many voices. I can hear their rage. The door is open. Come and avenge us, they say.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Biogel, black water, unidentified acid. Psi crystal. Flesh sample. Data crypt K040H. The caustic stench of reagents sears your nostrils and broken glass crunches underfoot. Somebody wanted to destroy the laboratory or find something. Someone disrupted this experiment in the most brutal fashion. It's impossible to determine what was inside.
They will see. Oh yes, they all will see.
Adamantine. Lady Cassia's Medicae. They all just lost their minds. Please don't kill me. Research notes of Navis Laboratum Custodian Fortunata Orselio Part 12. Laboratory journal. Okay. Alright. Why? Hang on. There we go. Let's see. Experimental section. The child's influence on psycho-emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium. Low-born female. For head injuries. That's not what we're looking for. Data crypt H40KO malfunctioned over the course of our research. I should remind the technomats to deliver this sacred mechanism into Amigos Deoctavy's capable hands. The tech priest blessed the data crypt H410K for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while retaining for the reaction to start. Okay, H41OK, that one. So we need that. I strongly recommend finely grinding the reagent to catalyze the reaction. We discovered the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale Dynasty. Corrupted flesh of the mutated. Crystals. Do not use acid under any circumstances. Tissue flask. Data crypt connector. Catalyst flask. Oh, okay, so don't use acid, so it's either biogel or black water. Adamantine dust and black water was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. Lucky to still have my head. Alright, let's try biogel. Reagent flask. Oh, what goes there?
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
Transducer?
What curiosity unveils itself before me?
Okay, so that gave us crystal dust. Does that go in the reagent thing? Activate.
What is that?
Adaptive antidote. Grants immunity to toxic damage and inflicts -10 penalty to toughness till the end of combat. Okay. Hopefully that worked. Remake the control rod. Return to Felic.
One step at a time.
Okay.
Amidst the madness.
Head over this way.
Genius
Athletics check through the
triumphs.
rubble. And talk to Felic. Felic Orselio looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided, his wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthy color under the scales on his cheeks. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well? Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Adira suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder. Then she starts mumbling. The crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy they fall at the slightest touch, one hiding a blind man, another a traitor. What paths? Which paths? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both lead to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. Who is who? Who do you see behind the masks? My whisperers are giggling nastily. They will not speak the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the mask is your concern. Thank you, I do not understand a single word. Adira nods tiredly and glances at Felic out of the corner of her eye. The station has enough problems without your sorcery, psyker. Felic waves Adira off and looks at you expectantly. Hand over the key. He exhales loudly and smiles. Thank you, Rogue Trader. I don't even know what to say. Status and honor prevented me from admitting it before now, but you have awoken hope in me. Hope that I might actually leave this station together with the mistress, which is why I am about to ask one last favor of you. The lowly insurgents got their hands on a weapon that suppresses my navigator powers. Their absence makes me a living target, but this weapon is useless against you, as is the bunch of lunatics wielding it. I humbly ask you to deal with the scum huddling upstairs and hurry to adorn my mistress with the relic of our house, a sacred amulet against all evil. Recent events have badly disturbed Lady Cassia's psyche, and warp entities have always lust for weaker souls, especially when the veil grows thin. You too will be safe next to this charm. And what will I get in return? You will get everything you wanted, a loyal navigator and the undying gratitude of House Orselio. Very well. You're going to need this charm. He hands you a precious stone without a setting. Its luminous surface remains cold to the touch, no matter how long you hold it in your hand. May the God Emperor's light be with you. Go up. She seems fine. Cassia. The pale figure with unnaturally long limbs covers her face with her hands, which are deformed with talon-like nails. Her deathly pale face is coated with blood that continually streams from her scarlet-misted eyes. Her spiny gills, slightly hidden under her disheveled hair, twitch nervously at your approach. Only now do you notice the third eye on the young woman's forehead, hidden by a bejeweled ornament, and when your eyes meet, you sense overwhelming, soul-smothering power. As the otherworldly creature's gaze slides over you, your entire core shudders in terror. Flashes of past warped nightmares reemerge from the shadows of your memory and paralyze your will. Oh, that was the background that I picked. Continue. You gasp for air in terror, drowning under a crashing wave of pain. You cannot catch your breath. Hot tears burn on your cheeks. Why is this happening? Why is it happening to you? Why do you feel so lonely and in so much pain? Do these feelings even belong to you? Adira emits something between a moan and a drawn-out whimper. Ow, 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 ow! As if my own little pals weren't bad enough, now this one's barging into my head. Someone stop her. Heresy. Argentel looks at the tall figure with a strange mixture of anger and sadness. Then she lowers her head and her white hair veils her face. Bring the stone into contact with her. You take one unbearably leaden step toward her, then another and another. Your entire world narrows to a single target, the strange creature who has raised a tempest in your soul. As you lift your hand holding the stone, interminably slowly, you notice that up close, Cassia looks more alive, more real. When you bring the ice-cold charm into contact with her startlingly human neck, the stone burns you. Glowing murkily now, it leaps from your hand and with a hiss and a strange crystalline chime merges with Cassia's skin. Ah! Howls the Lady Navigator in pain as her sharp nails try to find purchase on the glowing stone. But a second later, there is no trace of any wound, only the subtle illumination of the artifact under her pale skin. Whoops. Why? Why is everything so dull? Lady Cassia blinks, waking from a vision and continuing to rub at the place where the stone was set. Her scarlet eyes look cautiously around the room and at you. What did you do to me? I could barely see the colors. And your color, it is muted. Who are you? My presence here was requested by your faithful servant, Felic Orselio. Felic? Did he... Cassia's crimson eyes widen, but you cannot say whether out of fear or surprise. What is this? I feel faint. Thump! Theobald Orselio, the heavy-set old man who has been kneeling nearby, erupts into low sobs. His eyes, swollen from crying, dart desperately around the room, as though the veil of ignorance has been ripped away from them. The child! Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child! Throne preserve! Despite his venerable age, the navigator leaps up and rushes to the young woman's side. You! The old man shifts, revealing his face to you. It is threaded with jet black veins and bulging milky eyes bearing a striking resemblance to those of a dead fish. A sickly sweet scent assaults your nostrils, as if the old man's flesh is rotting inside his decaying husk. My eyes fail me, for they are unable to make you out as either enemy or ally. I'm warning you, one wrong move will bring the wrath of House Orselio down on your head. Watch out, Lord Captain. This one's so deranged it's making the Whispers shriek like crazy. He might open that eye of his. Threatening the head of the dynasty is a grave offense, esteemed whoever you are. Abelard places a hand on his weapon. At present, I am trying to determine what is happening on Urak 5. I'll grant that you do not look like pirates who have come coveting the riches of a wrecked station, or like scoundrels in Felic's service, so who are you? Abelard, introduce us! His lordship, rogue trader Mukluk von Valancia's heir to the greatest protectorate in the Coronis Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade, extends his greetings. Another rogue trader in our corner of the galaxy? How interesting. Your kind always make an appearance in desperate times, ready to cut a deal that benefits one side alone. Given that you have not so far drawn your weapons, your intentions are probably peaceful, and so House Orselio now asks a service of you. Save the life of the child in exchange for future cooperation. Do not hurry to think about it. Do not hurry to answer, think on it. You can make yourself an ally or an enemy of our house today, you decide. What happened between you and Felic? Felic is my wayward student. He came to Urak 5 as a callow youth. I personally mentored him and entrusted him with the care of the child. He was like a son to me, but he proved to be just another traitor. He sought to steal our most precious treasure, the heir of our house, our sacred child, to revel in power with others like him, casting our house into the abyss to pervert the centuries-long traditions of our family. You could see the fruits of his villainy for yourself. He decided he was not bound by his duties to the legacy of the greatest of our novators, Tisiphone Orselio, who led our house to prosperity for countless years. Foolish boy. The renegades clouded his mind. They sought to seize control of the dynasty before the sacred child had come of age and taken up the novator's throne. So, whose side are you on? A murderous traitor or the lawful scion of a noble house? He speaks these words softly, looking at the unconscious young woman with reverence. Felic accused you of treachery, Theobald. Why should I trust your words? Defending myself before strangers. I never thought I would fall so low. The old man looks at the unmoving Cassia and shakes his head in resignation. If the child's life were not at stake, very well, I have no choice or proof of my innocence. I can give you my word as a member of Navis Nobility. If the honest word of an honorable man counts for anything with you, I guarded the station against calamity and incursions from without to the best of my ability. I forced the wardens to strictly observe security protocols. I personally selected every servant, and I faithfully protected the child during the coup. What is the curse that has taken hold of everyone in this room? Curse? You do not understand the sacred gift given to our child. When the child is sad, we all weep. When the child smiles, we all laugh giddily. If the child wants blood, the world turns crimson. The child's will is the will of the great Tisiphone, and she is the heir of House Orselio. Yeah, and they call me dangerous with my witchcraft, Adira mutters under her breath. What service do you ask of me? Hope glimmers in the navigator's milky eyes. Save the sacred child. Take her away from this station. I fear I do not have long left. A bluish rivulet trickles down the old man's chin, and he wipes the mutated blood brusquely away with his sleeve. You glimpse strange burns covering his flesh under his clothing. The slightest movement must be causing him unbearable pain. Save the child and deliver her safely to Reagent Aronto, acting head of House Orselio in the Coronis Expanse. Rest assured that the reward will be worth your effort. I know we came here for a navigator, but after everything we've seen, I've got some reservations about this girl. Argenta looks at Cassia, and a painful furrow appears on her brow. Such a fragile thing with such a heavy burden upon her shoulders. It's so weird seeing Argenta say that. I feel like Argenta should be like, ah, mutant. Ah, shoot her. You talk as though you expect to die here. Sedequi, that trick has been on the internet for over 20 years. Not falling for that one. Theobald shrugs indifferently. My service to the house is coming to an end. The wounds Felic inflicted on my flesh will never heal. I am dying. Praise the throne slowly enough to see that the child is taken care of. You need help. There is a Medicaid deck on my ship. But Theobald only shakes his head. No, I am the keeper of Urak 5, and I will perish along with my station. On that note, I have other matters to attend to. How could you lose control of your own station? Do not thrust my errors in my face. I am twice your age and twice as wise. Take my advice. Trust no one but yourself and the Emperor. Even those closest to you will betray you for gold, power, or a far-fetched idea of a bright future. I have made my decision. Is that so? Please share your thoughts. If we're gonna be, like, dogmatic on this one, then we would be all about, like, following the rules. Ugh. And this guy is the rightful guy in charge. Great game and not enough voice acting. I agree. Felix is a true monster. Let's do away with him together. Theobald dips his head in favor of the proposition. Allies are always welcome, even temporary ones. I will revive the child. Do not be alarmed. The power of House Orselio's heir will help us destroy our enemies and shield us from Felix Navigator forces. But you, rest for a time before the battle. Save the lady, kill Felix.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Goods. The luxurious feast was left untouched. Alright, so back downstairs. It's about time we repaid those who betrayed our house. Come. Rogue traitor, you treasonous worm. I knew I should have killed you. I don't like your tone. That is enough, boy. You betrayed the child, our house, and Tisiphone herself. Surrender. I am the savior of our house, and I am prepared to pay the ultimate price. Kill them. We all just stand there while this guy takes a bullet. Okay. Let's see, Abelard, you could start over here. And... yeah, let's go.
I'll each strike is a prayer.
Okay. Buff on him.
But of course.
Scream in his head.
Pain and duty go hand in hand. Follow my
Stop mocking me.
Indeed. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Okay, those two with the chainsaw. Alright, Muck's turn.
A new note in discordant melody. Let's see.
Step aside. The navigator is...
Cassie opened her eye over there.
Anything else? Will do. Follow my lead.
Weapon at the ready.
What kind of carriage is Muck playing? The new Arbites. The guys that get the robot dogs. And I'm playing as a warrior, so he's gonna be a frontline fighter.
Moving out. I'm a bolter.
No! These ruby flashes are choking me.
Ah, behold the wrath of madness.
Doubt none can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. Eradicate it.
Buff Abelard.
Was that you? Or...
Uh...
on it. Farewell.
I got him.
Break their morale.
Medicaid guy.
At your beck and call. Follow my lead.
Move there and then charge. And then hit him.
You a target.
Emperor, give me strength.
Alright. Theobald coughs up bluish blood, the armor plates on his chest perforated in a few places, and there's a tangle of metal and viscera.
Survive. Return to the fold of your house as your destiny demands.
How does this compare with Daemon Hunters? I need a reminder. What was Daemon Hunters? Oh, Daemon Hunters was more like XCOM. Like, it was, different genre. Daemon Hunters is like XCOM through and through, and the game we're playing now is a CRPG. There is story in both, but in the CRPG, there's a bigger focus on, you know, solving problems in various ways, and, you know, the story itself. This one is like, you know, you're just playing these big knights, and you solve every problem with violence. Yeah, it's a fantastic game, but it's a different genre. It's a totally different genre of game. That was the one where I learned what Exterminatus was. All right, continue.
No, don't leave me alone in this violet-brown haze. Wake up. Your mistress is giving you an order. Do you hear me?
Cassia looks at the navigator's body in bewilderment, and you're overwhelmed with an inexplicable sense of loneliness and grief.
He was a fine seer of the war. He fought for his mistress until the end.
Yeah, no. Enough's enough. I've had my fill of waterworks, thank you.
Forgive the urgency, but we should leave the station immediately. The systems are unstable and may fail at any moment.
But this is my home. What have you done to me? What did you put in my neck? My powers feel like an emptied cup. The shadows around me have grown darker. What is going on? Help me! Relieve me of this burden!
Alright, so... I'm 99% sure that she can't die here because she is the navigator and you have to have one to continue the story. So I'm kind of curious what happens if you just violently pull it out. Cut out the glowing stone.
Enough. Enough. I beg you.
You reach for the stone in Cassia's neck, but an unknown power prevents you from even touching it. Your fingers freeze a hair's breadth from the skin as if her throat were encased in unseen armor. The stone starts heating up fast, searing her tender skin. I did not know the stone would suppress your power. We will find a way to rid you of it, I promise.
What are you going to do to me?
Lady Cassia, let us aid one another. Become my navigator, and I shall restore you to House Orselio at the earliest opportunity.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Yurak 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
Well, I need manpower, so all who can be saved will be given succor on board my ship.
Accompanying a rogue trader on their travels is an honor for any navigator. Let us go. I can no longer bear the sight of the deathly pale shadows that drape the bodies of the fallen.
Alright, is there any looting in here? I don't think I can loot that guy.
What lies beyond?
Let's see, he's got a special staff, armor, and bracer. Oh, now I can. And he's got a bunch of stuff we'll need to look through. Oh, over here. Okay, we have acquired the navigator.
Between the stars.
So she has joined the party. Alright, so I'll look through the loot next time. I am out of time right now. So we will save our progress here. Is it just F5 in this game? Yeah. So we'll save our progress here, and we will pick up our brand new playthrough from this moment in our next session.